This is an actual conversation that I had with a liberal on social media. I thought it would be funny to, just look at it. Let me know in the comments section if you had any really ridiculous conversations with liberals. Good times produce weak men. It is a good thing Trump is doing so well with the economy. People have time to worry about imaginary aggressions. Lol, and you think Trump is the reason the economy is stable? That's funny. What do you credit? High taxes and regulations from Obama? I'm sure you're smart enough to realize that it takes years for Americans to see any economic policy changes. In addition, as you remember, the economy was in the toilet when Obama took over, and it fully recovered by the time he left office. Trump inherited a strong economy, and despite his boneheaded trade war with China, it's still fairly strong. It's really not that hard to comprehend that. I typed this up exactly how the original conversation took place. I kept all of his really bad grammar. I mean, granted, having bad grammar doesn't make a bad argument, but it just bothers me far more than it should. His massive taxes and regulations did not help. Cutting both did. Man, unless you're in the top 1%, the effect was negligible. Notice here that he stops talking about how good the economy is because now it suddenly only affects the 1%. So as far as I'm concerned, it did nothing for me or my family. A rising tide lifts all boats. Lol, I don't believe in that nonsense. The people they do only say it to pacify the masses, so you can keep that garbage. Last time I checked, the middle class was still getting bleep. And the top 1% were gaining wealth. I would like to point out that if you have to start swearing and cursing in order to get your point across, you've already lost the argument. Hey, if that's your motto though, more power to you. Riddle me this. If there are fewer taxes and regulations, will the 1% hire more people or less? As I said, the rich are getting richer. So unless you're part of the 1%, what's your point? Yeah, like I said, I kept all of his bad grammar, but I am not going to narrate or type up his endless cursing and swearing. It's just really ridiculous. Bleep, don't you see the middle class is getting the squeeze? You can't be that blind. Geez, you sound like a fan of Reaganomics. The rich, if given the opportunity, will open up their wallets and thus money will trickle down to those at the bottom. That bleep didn't work. Now you're pushing the same garbage man. Save that bleep for someone else. Go talk to the middle class and see if they feel the tax breaks. Just having a job is bleep. People are struggling just to pay housing costs, childcare, health insurance, college tuition, etc. Furthermore, I live in Houston. Last year there were several explosions at chemical plants not even 15 miles from where I live. So I guess they need less regulations. Is that what you're advocating? The same greedy bleep that bleep us a decade or so ago? And you think less regulation is the answer? Yeah, okay. There are a lot of ways I could have responded to that. I could have said that companies don't need regulations because it's bad for business if things go wrong. They regulate themselves. A lot of industries do. But I realized I was wasting my time with this one, so I just decided to quickly end it. And if he decided to respond politely, we could have a conversation. Well, you are obviously open to civil conversation and capable of doing so without any outbursts of anger. He never came back to have a civil discussion.